Yes, yes, yes. We are back. We are back. We are back. Guys, as you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, like always. Thank you for tuning in to KL Culture Radio. It is Panel Wednesday. Hakeem, Jordan, what's cracking like it? What's cracking like it? What is cracking like it?
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's another day, week. It's Wednesday, hump day. So let's go. Let's get it. That's what we always do. Let's start it up.
All night, I have a special shout out to Mimi, always the first one in the building. We really do greatly appreciate you, sweetheart, for always coming through, showing the love and support. We really do greatly appreciate you for that. Shout out to those watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch, guys. Make sure you follow. It's so very, very important when you guys follow. And shout out to those who also watching us on Rumble and also X. Now that Jordan, before we get started, Hakeem, what about that music video the guy was telling us about over there on the Twitch world?
Oh,
Did you check it out?
Oh man.
Oh,
man, that shit is Jesus.
good, bad, indifferent?
It's not hitting for nothing.
Well, we'll check it out because we made a promise to the gentleman. We'll check it out before the end of the show to see how you feeling.
Right.
Now that thank you so much. So thank you so much, Mimi, for the love and support. We really do greatly appreciate you for that. Shout out to her Raven, also watching us on Instagram. Appreciate you, big dog, for tuning in. He's over there watching us on Instagram. So, Jordan, what's going on in the sports world before we let everybody up?
All right, let's get into it. So let's get into some boxing. So if you guys don't know, this Friday night, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is coming up on Netflix. And it's gonna be live, and it's gonna be at the they're gonna fight at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. So they were supposed to fight earlier this year, but I think Mike Tyson, he was sick, and now they had to delay the fight till Friday. So yeah, so this is supposed to be, when it comes to amateur fighting, one of the biggest amateur fighting of the year. As you know, Jake Paul, he's 27, who is an amateur fighter who has a really good record. And also, the Iron Mike, which he's 60. How old is Mike? Mike is 60. No, Mike is 58. So,
yeah.
So, like I said, this is the a boxing match that's going to draw, revenue, even though Mike Tyson is it's clearly not what he used to be. There are some people that want to see what actually Mike Tyson kind of looked like at 58 of fighting a very young Jake Paul. So go ahead, I can't play the clip. The clip is kind of long, so I'll let you know when to stop, and then we'll chop it up.
All right.
Welcome back in HQ. If you told boxing fans back in the late 80s, throughout the 90s, come 2024, a 58-year-old Mike Tyson will be taking on a YouTuber. They will probably just ask, what is a YouTuber? But the second question would be, Mike Tyson is fighting at 58 years old. Here we are. It does indeed, though, have fireworks all over this one. Jake Paul may have started out on the internet, now sitting at a 10-1 record, coming off 3 knockouts, and he wants Mike Tyson to be the next. Let's welcome back in Brian Campbell. BC, I did some internet digging. The top song when Mike Tyson, one of them, was born in 1966, was Strangers in the Night by Frank Sinatra. You're a music guy. In 1997, when Jake Paul was born, it was Wannabe by Spice Girls. So we are going with a 31-year age difference between these two. Still, BC, people are going to tune in because this is Mike Tyson. What on earth do we expect at 58 years old?
By the way, I was in college when Jake Paul was born, so thanks for making me feel old. Not as old as Mike Tyson, but what are we expecting? A spectacle. Look, this is inside of AT&T Stadium. It doesn't get any bigger than this in combat sports, and you're putting together one of the legendary, most famous fighters in history against a real disruptor and YouTube star turned professional fighter Jake Paul, who has really tried to be the heel in professional boxing in this crossover bubble. Should a 58-year-old Mike Tyson be fighting against a guy 31 years his junior? No, but the thing is, we saw Mike Tyson just 4 years ago in an 8-round exhibition pay-per-view bout against Roy Jones Jr., the fellow Hall of Famer. And Mike had no business being in the shape he was in being as powerful as he still was and fighting 8 hard 2-minute rounds and really having the stamina, the poise that we didn't see over the second half of Mike's career, where really, after biting Evan wrecked the rest of the way. That was a great redemptive moment for Mike, but it was against another aging former, contemporary. What about this fight against the young Jake Paul? As much as I'm afraid, and we all need to be afraid of what happens if a 58-year-old man takes big punches in a fight, the fact that Mike can win this, and the fact that half of the people tuning in believe that he can, this is a little bit like Mayweather-McGregor from 2017, but also a lot different. Even though we're fighting 2-minute rounds, even though it's 14-ounce gloves instead of 10-ounce that we normally see in heavyweight, Mike Tyson needs to be looked at as a guy with a puncher's chance in this fight. The old champion getting up off the couch and defending the sport against this newcomer from outside the lines. It's got central casting. There's movie storylines. It also has the potential to be really weird. But at the end of the day, no matter if you love it, if you hate it, if you're protesting that it shouldn't happen, we're all going to tune in to Netflix Friday night to watch it. That's an absolute fact. So I can sit here and give you historical comparisons of weird fights like this, but I'm not sure we've ever seen one exactly like this, where the aging fighter who probably shouldn't even be in there actually has a chance to compete. Maybe the same chance he does to be carried out, beaten up by a 27-year-old in his prime. The fact that we don't know, that we're not sure, is the reason why this fight is happening.
Okay, so really quickly, though, I was listening to your podcast all morning, and I think this is the fight you were referencing when you compared it to Rocky 6. Is that right?
Yes.
Was it this one? Because I have not seen Rocky 6. So is this what Rocky 6 is, the fight we're getting Saturday?
It's unofficially Rocky 6. We know it as Rocky Balboa, but if you remember that storyline, it was a down on his luck Rocky Balboa in his 50s. He was a restaurant owner. He was watching TV, and what did they see? A simulation of him against the current heavyweight champion of that day, Mason Dixon, played by Antonio Tarver. And what did they do? They actually had an exhibition fight to figure out who's the best. And spoiler alert, Rocky competed against the younger guy. Never, ever did I think art would imitate life, and here we are, AG. But here we are, and like we said, say what you need to say. Get your popcorn ready. We're going to be watching.
Okay, before Saturday, I will watch Rocky 6 or Rocky Balboa, whichever Rocky it is. I'm going to skip everyone prior to that. Let's talk about how Tyson gets to win, because you did mention he can do this. Mike Tyson said about Jake Paul, he goes, he's a manufactured killer. I am a natural born killer. So how does he get the win? And also, how fast does it need to happen?
Well, look, it's not likely that he gets the win. In the 14-ounce gloves, which may end up protecting Mike, I think also may prevent him from getting the idea of that one-punch KO. But it is possible that he could, and there's a few reasons why. One, Mike is not your typical 58-year-old. We saw that 4 years ago at 54 against Roy Jones Jr. Two, that quote you referenced from the pre-fight documentary that everybody's talking about, it's true. Jake Paul at age 20 was acting on a Disney show. Mike Tyson at age 20 was the heavyweight champion of the world, and he grew up differently, comes from bad surroundings. We know his story. Even though his image has been cleaned up the last couple decades and he's become more of a lovable ex-celebrity, he can still fight. And for all the success Jake Paul has had against aging MMA fighters, against celebrities, against journeyman boxers, he did not have an amateur career. He's only 11 fights deep. He makes technical mistakes, and most of the people he has fought have been 2 weight divisions smaller than him and a lot older than him. In this case, Mike's a lot older than any opponent Jake has ever fought, but he's also still more dangerous. Power is the last thing to go. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but there's a reason why the odds aren't completely wide. It's because Mike Tyson has a chance of winning this. I can't believe it, but here we are.
It would be more fun to put money on him anyway, but let's talk about Jake Paul. And look, a couple words you used.
So anybody got Netflix, or I think it's the premium Netflix. You guys will be able to watch it live. I think it comes on at 9 o'clock Central Time, I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is supposed to be a big fight. Like the man is saying, this would be like a Rocky 6, with You know, the older heavyweight, Mike Tyson faces somebody young, and for me, I'm off the night, so I will be able to watch it. So shout out to Nidus who's on the chat. Appreciate you guys for watching us. Make sure you guys watch the Nidus channel. He comes in, you know, on my time. You know, he's in the California time, so he comes on late night, early in the morning where I'm at. So shout out to you, Nidus. And Nidus says 50-50. So go ahead, everybody. With the Mike Tyson and the Jake Paul fight. What is your prediction? Who you think who gonna win?
You'll be surprised to say Jay Paul, because Jay Paul is younger, faster. He still got the speed. Now, don't get me wrong. I would never bet against Iron Mac. If you ask me to bet on it, I won't bet on that. I won't bet on the fight. But at the same time, I would just look to the fight. But Mike Tyson, he's an older guy now. Don't get me wrong, his punches still land the same. But after his fight with Roy Jones Jr., you saw that he was kind of like not in his prime anymore. Remember, he's getting older, and not only that, the reason why they pushed the fight till November is because he was having heart issues. So it just show you that he's not the same anymore. Even though right now he been through some an intense training for a guy his age, which is so incredible to see. He still don't have the guys. He still don't have the rhythm like he used to do when he was in his 20s. So I see Jake Paul going in there, not knocking him out. It's gonna be a good round. I think I predict a good like round 8, and then that'll probably be it. But it'll be a good fight. But Jay Paul gonna win because he's just younger and he's just faster. That's it. But Iron Mike, don't count him out now, because he's known for like if you push him to the edge, he'll come back and hit you with that KO. You get what I'm saying? Now that, but shout out to the Gore for the 3 month membership. Salute to Chaos Culture Radio. Shout out to the lovely Natasha Vincent that's also in the building. Subscribe to United channel. Natasha put his link in the chat. Go right ahead, Hakeem.
So I don't know if y'all ready for what I'm going to say, but I have to get this. I find this inherently disrespectful. Inherently. I blame the boxing community. I blame Brian Campbell, Amanda Guerrero for even covering this. I find this disrespectful to allow a legend of his stature to be even fighting again. There's nothing to prove. Mike has demolished and been a champion forever. This is a minstrel show. Somebody at 68 years old, we having him fight what the world is coming to. Is this what Don King and all them is all about? Where's Don King at? Is he around?
Yeah, he's still alive. He ain't dead yet. He's still alive.
Mike Rich Friends has urged him not to box. I didn't like this idea. Jake Paul, I think the fact that they even put in this fight is somebody 58-21. You know Jake Paul might win. This doesn't make no sense to even see this even fight. You're not going to beat Mike in his heyday. Mike should just be left alone, do movies, and raise his kids. I don't like this idea of having somebody fighting for what? You know what I mean? And this is just my personal opinion. He's an elder. He is a legend. That's it. I don't need him to do nothing else. I just want to get an autograph and just appreciate him for even living. Most of these boxers get CTSD and don't even survive. The fact that they asking him to go fight again and say, I don't care about the money, forget the money. I'm talking about principles. As black people, as people in general, why would you want to see your elder fight when he already done put in enough work? The man's from the trenches of New York. He went to prison. He demolished the best of them, rode in Rolls Royces. He showed us what living good is all about. I don't want him to go see some 2-bit fighter. Give a F about Jake Paul. I don't want none of my legends of fighting.
Even though they offer him a big contract, that's why he's doing it.
The money's not even worth it anymore.
Well, Tyson, it is. So he's doing it for the money.
Yeah, if he's doing it for the money, then we need to put a bag in the legend fight just to sit him down. As people, as spiritual people and people of culture, that's not what he's for. He's 68. It's like telling my father to go back out there and go back out there and pull the iron back out. That's all I got to say about that. I am disappointed in the boxing community. I am disappointed in CBS Sports. I am disappointed in Amanda Guerrero. I am disappointed in Brian Campbell saying that he could probably win this fight. I don't care if he wins 4 fights. He is a legend. Mike, sit your butt down somewhere. Please don't beat me up, but sit your self down somewhere.
Hey, Hakeem, you're talking about me, man. I'm gonna find you, man. I'm gonna get you, man. Hakeem, I agree with you with a certain point. Like, you know, come on, Mike, you're too old. You know, the last even the fight you fought 4 years ago with Roy George Jr. Nobody want to see the fight, but the thing is about it, Hakeem, boxing has never been the same. Has never been the same.
Because the world has changed. We need kids who came from horrible situations. They're not there no more.
And not just that, you know, look at the MMA, look at the MMA. Like, they promote fights that we want to see right now. Boxing don't do that no more.
No.
And done that ever since the early 2000s. So, and like I said, and right after Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather retired, you know, you have some good boxers, but it's not the same. Boxing's not the same no more. Especially we lost we don't have any heavyweights like that.
Yeah.
People ain't gonna watch boxing like that.
I want to land with this point. I would have rather seen Jake Paul fight somebody that Tyson had trained.
Hakeem fight a professional boxer. Because with Jake Paul, you know, I'm not saying Jake Paul's not a good boxer. Jake Paul, he's a solid good boxer. You know, he has power. He has a little bit of speed, but with Jake Paul, he kind of fight like a lot of amateurs and everything. And, you know, since him being a YouTuber, you know, and also his brother doing the same thing. Because remember, his brother fought on Floyd Mayweather, I think, 2 or 3 years ago to make some money and everything. So, and the thing is, it's like, you know, I don't like how. I'm with you, Hakeem. I don't like how that they put a Mike, you know, who's 58 years old. I get it, Mike. Mike is a warrior. He was born. He's born a warrior. He will die a warrior. It's that warrior mindset, which I totally get 100%. And sometimes, Hakeem, when you have that warrior mindset, your wife, your kids, whatever, it doesn't go away. I like it, but I don't like it, especially at Mike Tyson's age. He think he still has it. Maybe, but the thing is, Mike, you know, we see you that you in great shape at 58. You know, we know your history in the past and everything. You was the baddest man in the mid 80s all the way to the 90s. You was one of the baddest men in the planet. He came into the ring and struck fear. Like when he come up to the ring, that song come on, like the opponents, like I said, Mike Tyson wanted to say, hey, you better fear me. He had a fear in his eyes and everything. You know, what he did back in the mid 80s and the early 90s, it was incredible. But, you know, yeah, boxing has changed, and, you know, now the boxing is different, the promotion is different. And, you know, I'm going to go watch it, of course, you know, because I do want to see Mike Tyson, you know, see if he can knock him out. But, you know, how good. But my thing is, it's like I say, Jake Paul, he's a younger guy. He is a solid boxer and everything. And I just want to see Mike Tyson go down like that. You know, to me, it's just staying his legacy for me, because we already know how great Mike Tyson is. So, I watch it, yes, but do I really want to see it? Of course, I don't want to see this. I want to see some good boxing. I want to see the heavyweights come back like the 80s and the early 90s. How, you know, the heavyweights were so great and everything, but we're not going to see it because, you know, boxing really don't promote their fighters like that, and also boxing don't. Like I said, when heavyweights are in their prime, they wait for actual 2 to 3 years when they get past their prime, and then, you know, when MMA, you know, when everybody's at their prime and their apex, they're having it and everything. So, yeah, unfortunately, you know, boxing is not what it was, and we at the time and we at the place that we got to see stuff like this, and it is sad to see, and how, you know, MMA is, you know, it's on a whole nother level with boxing. I can still see boxing really keep diminishing, and, you know, boxing will not what it used to be, not even 10 years ago. But hey, man, it is what it is.
Now, but according to Google say Paul claimed at a press conference in August, "I'm here to make 40 mil and knock the legend out.
I
Mind you,
don't.
Jake Paul's getting paid
Man,
40
man.
mil, but after taxes he would get paid 31.1 million. Mike Tyson would get paid 20 million, but after taxes he would get paid 15.4 million at the age of 58. That's why I say I think he's just doing it for the money. Remember, you got to keep it in mind, guys. This is an amateur fight. It's like a what if. What if
Yeah,
of
it's
Jake Paul,
actually
not Mike Tyson. It's not like something to really take seriously. That's why I say I'm like with Nice in the chat. 2 minutes, 8 rounds. That's it. No longer than that. It's gonna be
I,
other fights too, but
yeah.
that's what it is. That's why
I,
I'm saying
I,
this is good entertainment. Good entertainment to watch.
I understand that though, but to hear a Lily suburban kid saying, "I'm here to knock the legend out," I know this is all for shits and giggles. I just don't
He's
want
not
it,
gonna knock.
bro.
He's not
I
gonna knock
just
him out.
I just don't
I,
like it.
if I really see that, to be honest with you, Mike Tyson would knock him out. If I know, when it comes to money, money's involved. Like, hey, don't knock him out. Keep it. Cause remember, Mike Tyson got more experience than him. Mike Tyson fought the greatest in the world and knocked him out, except Holyfield. But I'm just saying, like, trust me, Mike Tyson would knock him out. He's one of them people, like, you didn't see his training video? They really intense. Like, he can
No,
really
you're right. You're right.
he can really throw a left hook. You know what I'm saying? That he's not just a regular boxer.
No, you're
He's
right.
he played with pigeons. That's a man that's scary.
But
A man that play with pigeons.
but here's the thing: as a community, when do we stop our legends from doing certain things? When do we hold them to a high regard and say, "Hey, sit down. You don't got to do that. Let me just pay you 10 mil just to come and talk."
Hey, Hakeem, who gonna tell Mike Tyson that?
I know,
That's
but
Mike Tyson.
Tyson got a booming podcast. He needs to be trained. He needs to be training future boxers. He needs to be
He have his own boxing gym.
Yeah, he has
But
his
the thing
boxing
is,
gym.
I'm telling you, I think he's just doing it for the money, and I think he's just doing it for the love. Like, sometimes you just love some things. You just like, sometimes you just really don't care.
It
He
hurt.
loved boxing. That's all I think he said in the recent documentary, that's all he knows. Like Mayweather, that's all they know is boxing. That's all. That's all they know.
Hey, Mike Tyson is a hope for every ghetto kid who grows up in the trenches to say you
Yeah.
can still make it.
Yep.
Jake Paul
Big
doesn't
fact.
represent that for us. He come from he come from and I might be misspoken, coming from somewhat of a well-to-do family. Them boys don't got no cuts in their eyes and nothing. Mike, you could look in Mike's face and you could tell he's been through hell and back.
Shout out to Mr. Muhammad. That's also in the building. I already get a shout out to Gore. Shout out to Why High. That's also in the building. And he say, Mike uppercut would still take him out. He's an old professional. Now what I'm saying, you saw when we played the video, you saw like the way he moved at his age, that's not like normal. That's someone that's been in the game a very long time. Even though right now he still have his little situation, that man's still in great shape. Like I said, to me, I feel a man that's able to play with pigeons, train the pigeons, and the pigeons is able to obey Hakeem. You understand? He got a lot of pigeons at his mansion. So think about it.
Yeah.
And he let them go and they come back to him. That's a man that literally barks lions like tigers. This man he's scary. That's a scary man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would not step in the ring with a man like that. That's a scary. Have you noticed? Why have you noticed Mayweather never step in the ring with a man like that? Mayweather, even though him and Mayweather not in the same class, but Mayweather knows like this man's scary. Go ahead.
To me, Pacquiao at his prime, he was like that. But remember, Manny Floyd went until after Manny Pacquiao to his prime until they fought. But to they fought, which I didn't like, because if I felt like Pacquiao at his prime and Floyd at his prime, even though I still like Floyd might win a division, I probably had a slight chance that Pacquiao probably would win that fight if Floyd would have fought Manny Pacquiao at his prime. But
of course, shout out to the real Raw T on Instagram. Thank you for tuning in, sweetheart. We really do greatly appreciate it. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X and also Kick. I saw somebody comment from Kick. Shout out to you for watching. A lot of people gonna watch this fight, King. This is gonna be the most watched on Friday. This coming Friday, yes. People are gonna be watching that fight. Trust me, because it's Iron Mike. back in the ring once again. But guys, let us know next week if y'all guys watch the fight. I know we're gonna do a review about it. So guys, let us know if you watch the fight. Make sure you have a good time watching it. Have some popcorn, have some drink, get into arguments. At least there's something to watch on Friday. Get into some arguments about the fight. But let's do it. That being said, Jordan, you already know money. What's going on in the money world?
Hey man, let's talk. Let's go back to crypto. Let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin earlier it hit like $93,000 earlier today, and now it's going back down to 92, 91. But how, like I said, since Donald Trump was elected president, stocks and crypto was going up, and there's a possibility by next year that Bitcoin might hit $100,000 next year. And there's definitely a possibility. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip of Yahoo Finances, and after that, we'll chop it up.
And the next catalyst for further upside in studio, we've got Andy Baer. He is the managing director of CoinDesk Indices. Andy, it's great to have you here. So, okay, holding on to 83,000 levels, how likely is six figures by year end?
This is the last piece of the puzzle for Bitcoin in particular, right? Getting the ETFs launched, and now they probably have close to about 80 billion, 75, $80 billion of AUM in the ETFs. Then getting the Fed, the easing cycle begun. That began on September 18th, and we were out saying that's a great start, right? We like forward real interest rates being lower. That helps support the Bitcoin price. Then regulatory was the third thing to fall, and the election just made that very clear that there's going to be both regulatory reform, hopefully some positive legislation, which helps the whole industry. So for Bitcoin in particular, really, it's all lights are green right now.
Andy, do you think the market's being a little bit too optimistic just in terms of what they're pricing in on the regulatory front versus what maybe be more realistic outcome? Yeah, I think, the thing that we always have to remember about Bitcoin is those 5%ers, right? The people who spend 5% of their investment time thinking about Bitcoin. That's much less than me, and maybe the rest of the viewers are in that category. Many of them just really haven't engaged yet. So I think part of the upward pressure is that adoption will continue. It'll be Bitcoin, of course, is a bigger breadth story, but that's one thing that other assets maybe that have capped momentum don't have. There's so much momentum possibility based on just the sheer fact that adoption is still at an early stage. And also that the president mentions Bitcoin a lot, right? The president-elect mentions Bitcoin. The current president does mention Bitcoin a lot. Just that kind of repeating kind of chorus of this is something interesting, I think will bring a lot of new people in, and we have a long way to go with a limited supply of Bitcoin. So talking about Andy just bringing a lot of new people in, I guess here we are today, if we sit here a year from now, 2 years from now, what does that then look like, and what does the conversation sound like? Sure, I think for the first thing, and I hope many investors kind of sort of adopt this mentality, Bitcoin is its own thing, right? It is a macro asset, it's a store of value. It really doesn't do much but move from one address to the other, but it has a scarce supply, and it has very good security and a 15-year network. So think of it as this singular asset. The growth in smart contract platforms, in things that will change the way we live, similarly to how the internet did and how mobile phones did, that really hasn't had much sunlight, right? I liked that 10-year chart of MicroStrategy because you showed 1999. 2021 was crypto's 1999, right? That first kind of overshoot of enthusiasm that got toppled like tech stocks did in 99. Now we feel like, well, crypto moves a lot faster. We didn't need 10, 15 years to come back, just a couple of years. The rest of the tokens, and you've seen them in the price action over the last week, the breadth has been incredible. Solana and Ethereum and Uniswap, DeFi, smart contract platforms, Chainlink, which supplies the decentralized universe with data and information. All of these names have done well. The CoinDesk 20 index, which captures a lot of these things, which is our benchmark, is up 30% since the night before election. So it's been a breathy rally that we think has a lot of legs because, again, a lot of these technologies are new, and then many people don't know about them. Given that, I wonder how you view the rally in altcoins, and is it potentially doing the opposite of what you're talking about, which is like this idea that
the altcoins remind people of FTX, of this kind of schoolboy mentality in the crypto community.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, look over here at Bitcoin. This is actually something the president's talking about.
No, I think that's a very good point. And it's important for investors to realize that once they get past Bitcoin, they have to learn a lot of new stuff. Ethereum works very differently from Bitcoin. So to the extent that starts to concern them, as if, I don't know, if Ethereum or Solana is going to be the primary layer one, it's too complicated, I don't want a token pick, go for an index investment, right? And a lot of investors around the world have taken in our CoinDesk 20 index in a variety of forms, so they don't have to choose. It's like a QQQ of crypto. And that kind of alleviates concerns about individual tokens having issues. One of the things that we hope for is that in the United States, investors will have the same access to index investments, and that will be the first good defense against individual tokens having problems.
Andy, I don't know to what extent you can comment on the pricing here of Bitcoin, but we've had a lot of guests come on talk about 100,000 is in the cards. We had one guest come on talking about the fact that if everything falls into place, we could be talking about 200,000 in the not too distant future. How should investors be thinking about the trajectory here, how dramatic the climb has been, and maybe ultimately what that signals about how much more room there is to go?
For sure. So Bitcoin's, if you think of its return distribution, it tends to melt up, not melt down, right? And that is seen both in its options market, but also just in its return distribution. So these kind of melt up moments, which are usually categorized by news coming out and trend signals, tend to have legs, right? Again, the essence of trend, one of your earlier guests said this, is that more people find out about the same news and they get on, in stages, right? We have the 5%ers who, most of whom are not even engaged yet. So momentum can have legs. Our trend indicator is pointing to a significant uptrend. I think there's more good news to come out. Remember, we're still in an easing cycle from the Fed, and there's still concerns about inflation. Both of those things are positive for Bitcoin. So I don't necessarily think like another 20, 30, 40, 50% move is out of the cards. Bitcoin proves over and over again that it's totally capable of doing that, despite being a $1.5 trillion asset.
It's good to have both of those things happening at the same time, right? You're good
Totally.
if the Fed cuts, you're good if inflation stays high, good place to be. Andy,
That's right.
thank you so much.
Yeah, so there you go. I personally, I believe the next, 4 years since Trump's going to be offense, not just Bitcoin, but the big cryptos like, Dogecoin, Ethereum, even Shiba Inu, that's one of my favorite stocks, but Kronos. We go see a lot of jump when it comes to these cryptos. But go ahead, Akeem. What's your take, with Bitcoin? My question to you: do you think in the next year or next 3 or 4 years that Bitcoin will surpass $100,000?
100%. I guarantee you it's going to do that. I am very, shout outs to Next Level in the building, baby. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on Cardano. I'm very bullish on Solana. This is the new currency. This is the new wave, new investment that we are able to see in real time. And please, people, do not sleep on it. You don't have to put a lot on it. You don't have to invest those weird coins you heard. The guys say, look at the top 20 cryptocurrencies on CoinDesk 20 and look at the top 10. These are the ones you're supposed to. This is not financial advice. Thank you, Next Level. This is another way to diversify your portfolio. Everybody should have a little bit of Bitcoin. When this thing gets to $1 million and that your little one turns into $100,000, it could be for you or it could be for the next generation. You don't invest and save to enjoy your money now. You do it for the next generation, for your kids. Proper structure. So I'm saying, people, cryptocurrency is no different like the stock market. I am very bullish in it. Just like I'm bullish on land, I'm bullish on properties and this. I don't want y'all to be sleeping down the well, but I want to do something what Natasha said. Do your research, read the right papers, find somebody who knows a little bit more about you, because smart contracts and all these other things, Chainlink might be a little bit over your head. Watch some YouTube videos to understand it.
Right on. I was just about to tell you that to read Natasha's tons of missing comment, the mom of the comment, because she made a good point. Of course, this is not financial advice. Always speak to your financial advisors, and also make the best decision for you and your family and for your endeavors. So when it comes to me in the aspect of Bitcoin, I'm with you, Hakeem. Just have a little bit of coin here and there. Because the thing you gotta understand, Bitcoin is very volatile. So 1 minute is really hot. Like right now, it's at 92K, then goes down to 90, and then go back down to 80, then go back down to 70. That one you want to put a lot into it. And if you one of those people that always panic when it comes to the aspect of your money, then you should be able to put a little bit of here and a little bit of there. Now, cryptocurrency is the next future in the world because remember, because people gotta understand something. The money, your dollar bill is not backed out by anything. It's just paper. So that's where that's where your money's gonna end up being is on currency. It's gonna be on digital. So you kind of can see when it comes to aspect of credit cards, is the same concept. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, you gotta understand that okay, this is where I want to put my money in for the near future, or this is where I want to put my money in because I don't know what to do with my money. So that's why you gotta make that smart decision for you. But cryptocurrency is very volatile. And now that keeping in mind too, because President-elect Trump pretty much going to be in the office. He pushed cryptocurrency a lot, and I that you also have Elon Musk with him, who also promote Dogecoin. He was saying that today on his Twitter. He was talking about Dogecoin all over the place. So now a lot of people are investing in cryptocurrency, but just be very very mindful that you read the fine print. You actually know what you're doing. Don't jump into something that you don't know nothing about, and that way you put yourself in the hole. But I like that strategy. Look at the top 10 from the top 10 pick because that's what I do when it comes to the stock market pick and see what makes more sense to you. Go right ahead,
Listen,
Jordan.
and
Go
one
ahead,
thing,
Ken. You gonna say
yeah,
something?
one last thing is this dollar cost average. Like you said, you don't have to put a lot. Set it at $10 every paycheck. If that's all you can afford, $10 every paycheck, and just forget about it. We drink that a day. Once you do that, you forget about it. In 4 years, as the money's going up, you say, "Oh snap! I got $5,000 in my account from a little bit of investment that you could probably use for an emergency." That's it.
Now, to be honest with you, I think Bitcoin more. This is my personal opinion. No one have to listen to it. This is my personal opinion. I think Bitcoin is more better than a savings account because this is constantly keeps going up instead of
I'm,
actually going
I'm
down. But
not
go
gonna.
ahead, Joe.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Ryan. If you look at the last 10 years of Bitcoin, just look at the last 10 years of Bitcoin. Look how much it made. Look how 10 or 15 years ago how celebrities they invested in Bitcoin. I think 50 Cent, a few other people they invested in Bitcoin, and then they just didn't invest into it. And then like a couple years later, they made like over almost $100,000. They took it out and everything. And now there's somebody they see how Bitcoin is so big. They wish it would say, hey, if I could have saved, just leaving it there 11, 5, 6, 7 years, they probably would have $500,000 in their pocket already. But yeah, crypto is coming. It's the future. It's definitely in the future. I know crypto.com, if you invest a certain amount of coins, Chronos coins, you can get like a Visa debit card, which you could use in cryptocurrency, which Visa, which, if you invest, let's say you get a card, you invest in $400. So I guess you gotta lock in the coins for like 6 months, and then they see you the cards. And then you get certain type of benefits, and the higher level you go on, the more benefits you get. Because I think like if you invest, there's one card where you invest $40,000 worth of crypto in there. You'll if you put your Amazon card, if you use your Amazon card, if you use Amazon to put it on your crypto card, it'll be free because once you pay, you get that back in crypto. Expedia, if you do that, you get a certain amount of cash back and all sorts of benefits and everything. So when it comes to crypto.com, that's what they're doing. And also, I believe Detroit, Michigan, soon they will become the largest U.S. city to accept cryptocurrency payments. And I think it might happen so it's going to happen in mid next year, 2025, that, Detroit's going to be the first major cities you could stay or accept cryptocurrency and everything. So, and that's Detroit, Michigan. Once Detroit start doing that, you might see these major cities like LA, New York, Miami, Atlanta, Houston. That when they see crypto is the future, you're gonna see a lot more cities gonna be set to cryptocurrency as well. So and I believe that Elon Musk is gonna talk about it a lot more. I also believe Donald Trump is gonna talk about a lot more about crypto and everything. And you hear that talk about a lot more. Usually you're gonna see your basic crypto, Bitcoin, Cardano, Solana, Dogecoin. You're gonna see a steady them increasing and everything. So I think and I also think Bitcoin. I can't say yes, it's go over 100,000. I think it's gonna happen less than 6 months that we're gonna see Bitcoin is gonna hit over $100,000, and and people gonna, and I think a lot more people gonna realize that because there are some people that still scared of crypto. They don't know anything, but like you guys said, what Natasha said, what Ronnie said, just make sure you do your research. Just follow on. The top 10, top 20 crypto. Look at the history. Look. You need to go all the way from 2-3 years from now and see how it moves, how volatile it moves. That's on you and everything. So me, I love crypto. I definitely made some money since Trump got in the office. I'm still making money till right now. So yeah, man, crypto is the future and it's coming. And people, don't be waiting now. Like I said, if you guys scared, do your research because you don't want to miss on this money because crypto is coming. It's coming.
Like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss when we go live. That being said, and keep it in mind, Jordan Hakeem, one time, remember Bitcoin was just $1. Now it's at 90K. That's just showing the power of the people. If people believe in something so hard, they're willing to invest their hard-earned dollars to put it to the next level. Hip-hop. Jordan, what's going on in the hip-hop world?
Let's go. Let's talk about PNB Rock. So, 2 years ago, he was, shot and passed away at Rocco's Chicken Waffles in here in South Central Los Angeles. And we kind of believe that the research that we saw that PNB and Rock girlfriend when she posted like where they was at, they thought that like one of his fans or the killers that was gonna go in and killers they saw it, they went straight to that chicken and waffle and shot her. But there's been new details of actually what actually happened or how PNB Rock was really set up. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
It's been 2 years since the murder of rap star PNB Rock in broad daylight. He was from Germantown, you may recall. He was shot and killed while eating lunch at a restaurant in Los Angeles. And now there's new exclusive video coming out that sheds light on what really happened that day. The news magazine True Crime News is devoting a special edition tonight to the never-before-seen videos. The host of the True Crime News, Anna Garcia, joins us live here right now at CBS News Philadelphia. So, Anna, tell us about this video, this surveillance video.
So it's got two components to it. One is the actual shooting, the murder. And what that video very clearly shows is that PNB Rock, Rakim Allen, never stood a chance because the shooter came in, put the gun up, asked for the jewels, and within seconds he was already shot. So the opportunity to hand over the $500,000 in jewelry wasn't even there. And PNB Rock was carrying a gun. He had it in the back of his waistband, but didn't even have enough time. The man is shot.
Back, everyone. It's been 2 years since the murder.
And is shot, and then the shooter, you can see him grabbing the jewelry off of him, also points the gun to the girlfriend who's having lunch with him, takes some of her jewelry, but she is not shot.
Now let's talk about the girlfriend, because at first, wasn't there kind of like an implication that maybe she was involved in some way on this?
The implication was she had posted a picture from Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles where this happened.
So the location, she's saying where we are.
Where we are, and she posts a picture of the food, the chicken and the waffles, not of them, not that she's with him. And then the shooting happens. But what we didn't know now that we do excuse me, what we didn't know then that we know now is that that photo had nothing to do with the murder of P&B Rock. The setup had started the minute he walked into the restaurant. He's wearing $500,000 in jewelry. There's someone there who spots him, does a fist bump. We see this on the video. He contacts someone else, a father and son team.
Okay.
And then is shot, and then the shooter team.
Okay.
And the food was delayed by almost 40 minutes. But it was just slow that day in the restaurant. So keep that in mind. She didn't get to post that video, that photo till much later. And it was those two that were responsible for the death of P&B. And it was, the whole setup was just to steal all his jewelry.
Wow. Well, you've been following crime stories for years. I mean, this was your beat as a general assignment reporter. I mean, the show's now 2 months on the air.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of response are you getting from folks?
Wonderful. We're here in Philadelphia talking about this incredible case. We need to set the record straight. She blamed herself. The girlfriend blamed herself for this murder, that it was all her fault. It wasn't her fault. We need to make sure that everyone knows that, because social media and other celebrities jumped all over her, blaming her. So it's important to have that discussion, to tell the entire story of a crime.
As opposed to news nuggets.
Yes.
This is what. Okay.
And the food was delayed. Yes.
This is what I always tell people. You don't know the full story until you know the full story.
Exactly. And today we can tell you the full story. It's the entire half-hour episode on tonight here on your station.
This is a great focus. And I mean, I know the folks here in Philadelphia, because of the connection with Germantown, people are going to be very interested.
They should be. I think it will be very revealing about what happened. He never stood a chance. And then the agony that she goes through in the interrogation room, she couldn't go to the hospital with him.
Wow.
When you see her fear and her agony as you know, the world is just blaming her for something, and she starts blaming herself, and it wasn't her fault.
Well, we look.
Yes.
This is what I always tell people. You don't know the full story until you know the full story.
Yeah, so there you go. Those are the new details that we've seen, and you know, and it definitely changed the stories. I can't remember what was my take on it. I don't know if you guys remember your takes on it, because this was 2 years ago. So yeah, here's all the new details that, you know, it wasn't her fault. He was really set up because, you know, they was delaying it was slow, and the food was delayed for 40 minutes, and it kind of, you know, with that, you know, it got this, you know, the lead shooter and get the dad and the shooter, and she really shot and killed P&B guy, which is very, very sad. So go ahead, Ronnie, man, with these new details, what's your take now?
I'll tell you now, I don't think I think I kind of did blame the girlfriend, because the aspect of her posting the picture online, and not only that, but sharing the location. I think that's why a lot of people was blaming her for that aspect of posting the video. I remember she was posting the photo online and also sharing the location. So that's why people were like, okay, she kind of like set him up. But then when the new details came out and showing that no, she didn't set him up. Like that day was just kind of funny. They were taking a long time serving his food. And then when the food finally came out, that when he's deleted. So that's the whole point, that that's why you got to be careful when it comes to like doing certain news and on social media too, because I would say social media can be very, very dangerous, because we were blaming a person that was pretty much innocent in the whole situation. But I think the only thing, you know, I'm gonna be honest, the only thing I blame her for was she should never post where they was at. She should have posted later after they left the restaurant, posted that, oh, we was over here at Roscoe Chicken and Waffle, which the place I did go there too when we went to. Remember, Joe, when we was in LA, we did go there too as well. So we went there. So it's just it's a sad thing, man. And it kind of shows like the ignorance of hip hop artists. That they continue to wear these expensive jewelry and think you're not gonna get touched. You're gonna get touched, man. If somebody see you that's hungry, and they hungry and they know you got like a expensive chain like that, like $500,000. Bro, have your bodyguards with your non. Just don't wear it at all. This is my carry-on. Go ahead again.
I'm gonna be quick because I need Ruthless to touch on this. He is our California expert, and he knows this a little bit better than he is our California. Listen, I'm so happy you're here because Dick can speak. This is why people tell you to come and check in. You're a rapper with $500,000 jewels. We all are from the trenches. If I want to go to a particular spot, I'm checking in with somebody, or I just don't go there. Him thinking that everything was cool. We're not in Philadelphia. California is totally different. People who live there their whole life don't go to certain places because they're from another hood. There's something I'm here. He could think about this. But there's another thing that needs to be corrected. That young lady, Stephanie, was his fiance, and they had a kid together. And there's other nuances we could talk about why he didn't, and the reason why she wasn't able to go to the hospital because they're not married. And that's also same thing with Nipsey Hussle and that girl. They was giving her problems to get because she wasn't married to him. So that's a whole nother conversation. But this is why you can't trust social media. But I tell young men, when you look like food wherever you at, for women and men, they're gonna come get you. People are hungry. People are hungry. We know he didn't have a chance. It's $1 million worth of jewels. They just in the trenches. We need to make sure that you ain't gonna reach for the hammer. That the one who upped the pistol probably know he had a hammer on him. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, which is true. And remember, the Rascal Chicken Restaurant he went to was on Manchester and Maine, which is in South Central. So Hakeem, when like I don't know why you wearing jewelry in that area, which is mind-boggling, especially a $500,000 jewelry. So if you walk out that car, you got jewelry wrong. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's looking at you. So I kind of blame him. Like I said, if you go into that particular spot, I don't know what he was thinking. Like I say, think about it, Hakeem. People think like when they wear jewelry, they think they're untouchable. I don't know why people think they're untouchable like that, especially here in LA. Not just in South Central, like not even in South Central. Anywhere you go around LA, you wear some type of jewelry. You go to even my area, you go to Pasadena where Ruthless at, you go to downtown, like people is watching you. And the thing is, police will tell you is like, when you wear jewelry, they gonna tell you watch yourself because you really gonna get robbed or you might get worse with that and everything. So like it's sad before. I don't believe, like I said, I don't believe I blame her for posting on the picture, the picture or where it was at either. I don't think I really attacked her like that. So, but still, people that did, I saw that a lot of people did apologize. Like they sent her direct a DM or put something on her post if she still have her page and everything. I'm sending like hearts and say it was apologizing and everything. But at the end of the day, wearing jewelry in LA, I really recommend it. When my homeboys come and they got jewelry on, I say, hey, I don't care if you're in Santa Monica. I don't care if you're in Santa Monica or Venice. You go over there, you gonna get robbed somewhere because, when we wear jewelry, all eyes is on you like that. Go ahead, Rufus.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Wait a minute.
What's going on?
Why he going before me? He ain't got nothing to say.
So, I mean, it's not really an LA thing. I mean, for $500,000 chain in any impoverished area is a dangerous and unrealistic risk to take, right? But especially the land of the shoot 'em up, bang bang gang. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the dudes were dying over Jordans. Y'all remember when dude got give him Jordans? He took a buyout, right? So definitely $500,000 chain. Maybe he got a little. I don't know. Maybe he felt a little. I guess I don't know what he felt, but maybe he felt like he going to the restaurant, public setting, that he was safe. And once again, I mean, it's sad though. I don't condone that type of shit. Nor do I support that. Cause that's that man's chain, man. I don't care. I mean, he should be able to wear his chain, man. Right? He should be able to wear his chain. Why you gotta go take something that don't belong to you? So it is what it is. I can't speak for my counterparts. They are ruthless. You know what I mean? Yeah, but as overall as black people, we should know better. We know better though. We know better. I pretty much don't have too much more to say on that. And especially you see Pop Smoke get crushed with the Louis Vuitton bags.
Whew, Jesus.
Right, that was like happened a little bit ago. I know he had to, and this guy wasn't even in the restaurant. He was in the comfort of his Airbnb or whatever, and he stopped that location and they pulled up. Right, so, so yeah,
and also Ruthless, the Crondo Rondo cousin, when he got shot a couple years ago, they shot him on La Cienega, right by the Beverly Center.
that was a little different because that was a hit, right? And somebody's potentially going to get prosecuted for that. But I'm just saying, though, right? Black people, listen, don't go around other black people when you're successful. Not landed.
Oh, wow.
Now, but shout out to the lovely Supreme Goddess PhD, but that was also in the building. I think she had internet connection. She'll be right back.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out to Ruthless. Shout out to Ruthless. That's also in the building. And shout out to KL504 that's watching us right now on Instagram. Shout out to Ivy Wody. That's also in the building. Go right ahead, PhD.
Go right ahead, beautiful. My Kenyan queen.
King and queen. Damn. You voted for Kamala too, huh?
No. I say Kenyan.
Oh, okay. I thought you give a double title.
I don't know if she have internet issues.
I think
Supreme Goddess Ziva.
I think she's muted.
You're on mute. You're mute.
Okay, well, we'll carry on when she get back. If she wants to give her commentary, like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because you never know when we may go live. Shout out to those watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Shout out to those also watching us on X and also watching us on the Rumble. It is Panel Wednesday. Panel Wednesday means we give you guys the opportunity, like Ruthless, you see the Supreme Goddess PhD on the panel. Give you guys the opportunity to join the panel. We deep dive a different variety of topics. So, Jordan, go right ahead. Do your thing, big dog.
All right, so we almost in that one that
hold on, can y'all hear me?
Okay,
we can hear you now. Come on.
Oh, damn. I thought we got rid of her.
What's up, Ruthless? On the PNB stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to point out how readily Black people blame women for shit that men do, right? So they was trying to blame the girl because she posted a picture. All she posted was a picture of the food, so that they could have not been there, right? Nevertheless, the thing that I found interesting was that, because I think I saw that same video that y'all played, they pointed out that she told him before they went there, hey, you probably don't need to be wearing all this jewelry in this environment. And he told her, it's in God's hands. Now, you know, in these spaces, we hear these men talk about how much more logical men are and how men aren't, don't act out of their feelings and whatnot. But the basic logic was to anybody, even that woman was child. If you're going in an environment like this, a neighborhood like this, you don't have no security, don't wear $500,000 worth of jewelry. He did it anyway. And so I think it's just a good example of how men do, in fact, act out of their feelings. A lot of times those emotions are ego, right? And things like that. And so the basic common sense that y'all all pointed out, the girl pointed out, anybody with half a brain would know, is don't wear that much jewelry in a place like that, right? But because he was in his ego and thought I don't know, and we see what ended up happening. So it's very unfortunate. Because that same video, I think, pointed out in the beginning, like his father was deleted, his older brother was deleted. Yeah, I mean, it's just really crazy. And so just a very tragic thing. But I also think the point about them not being married, so she couldn't ride in the ambulance, was an important point. Also, ladies, it's more than just a piece of paper.
PhD, and to second that, she had, I remember around the time she came on live and said, she was left with anything. She didn't get no life insurance, no nothing, and she had a baby with him. She said, "I'm not getting no support from his family, like, because soon as he passed away, everything went to his mother."
Right. Because she is his next of kin. Yes. And unless, he had gone through the legitimization process with that daughter, with their child, and, had all the paperwork, done on that, she's legally not his daughter because they were not married. And so I think Black women have to, understand these things and understand the consequences of these things before it's too late. Stop letting these men make you their baby mama and being your boyfriend for years and years. In the event there's a tragedy, you have no recourse, you have no legal standing. Being a wife has certain benefits and privileges associated with it. Rights and privileges, not benefits too. So yeah. So just be very mindful, ladies.
But I will
I
say,
don't understand how guys date women for 10 years and not marry them. That don't make no sense to me. But go ahead, Ruth.
but I will say this, and I'm add this one caveat to it. No matter what, whether they're married or not, she still benefited at a great rate, right? Especially a man like him, who was pretty much rich, right? And she lived a life, right? She still lived a life. Now she may not didn't get nothing extra when he died, but granted, when they were together, I'm sure she was well taken care of, very well taken care of. She didn't have to work. She didn't have
they
to
have a
struggle.
child, and now she do because she got to take care of that child.
Yep. And now that, but also ridicule online too as well.
We don't know if the mother took care of it later. We don't know that. We didn't follow that all the way. But I'm just saying this. I'm just saying this to everybody, right? Women, I understand your plight. You guys kind of did this to yourself with these high divorce rates, these high leverage leaving rates. You guys just leave everybody for everything. Nobody wants to marry a quitter, right? So they do want to marry you, but they don't know if you're going to quit them, right? So maybe he's just holding off longer to see if you can stand the rain. Can you stand the rain? Right?
Oh my God! I'm thinking of that Shakespeare.
Also, I'm not saying he was right for not marrying. He should have married. More like, but he probably saw the numbers. He probably like, man, I don't know. They probably argued a lot, and she was always breaking up with him, and he would have to talk her back. Because most people, like in that type of relationship, when the guy has all that money and fame, and he's get this girl who has his child, and he's taking out to eat, most likely he doesn't break up with her, right? If he just would never be with her, and he can have all these hood rats and all these money hungry, blood sucking bro, but he picked her. So obviously she's probably showing some sort of, in low quality, not much value. So he was trying to work it out. So once again, right, you guys did it to yourselves, right, by showing your hand, right? And now a lot of men, they love you, they got respect for you, but they want to be sure. They want assurances now, and that's just the way the game goes. Once again, can you stand the rain?
Well, I think it's important to. So that's fine, right? So as a woman, you can't force a man to marry you, but what you can do is withhold your womb until he do, right? And so ultimately, the decision is the woman's, right? So she can choose. I'm sorry, I didn't speak over you.
I'm sorry. I just want to throw that preface in. He paying for you, PhD.
Don't have no babies from no nigga who ain't shown you that he committed enough to you to want to marry you. All of these relationships end in either death or y'all breaking up. So stop having children from men who have not even demonstrated the first step of committing to you, which is asking for your hand in marriage. And stop falling for this engagement bullshit. Just because they buy you a little cheap ass ring don't mean they really intend on marrying your ass, right? And so don't get pregnant and have a baby until y'all done actually signed that marriage certificate, right?
She probably had
That's
that
number
problem
one.
first.
Sir, why do you keep cutting me off?
I'm sorry, I slipped out. That slipped out. Prada
Maybe
purse.
you should put yourself on mute since you
I'll
have
do
such a
I'll
hard
do it
time
right now. I'm
controlling
doing it right
yourself.
now. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Thank
doing it
you.
right now. Look at it.
The other thing is, other groups of men ain't having no, aren't reticent to get married in large numbers. Even rich white men will get married 4, 5, 6 times. But you broke ass niggas talking about what you trying to protect. You ain't got no house. You ain't got no assets. You barely got a job. So now what are you trying to protect? Cut it out. Now you may speak, sir.
I really think he brought her some nice things. Right? I'm sure she was loving it. Prada, Louis Vuitton. I'm sure she's money in her account. He got a lot of money. He at least he's probably touched over $3 million. I'm gonna say rapper. You know, that chain was pretty expensive. So he's probably touched over $5 million. And she's probably got a percentage of that. So she's winning. Even if they don't get married, she's got the kid. She still won.
No. So the thing is, a lot of times those rappers are renting that jewelry.
Yep.
Right? So it's $500,000 in jewelry, but that didn't mean he ever touched $500,000. He was probably renting it like all the other ones, just because most rappers are not rich at all. Right? And
Yeah, majority of them, yeah.
even if he was rich, then look, ladies, y'all got to have some type of sense, right? So he giving you money to buy bags and all that shit. You got to take some of that money and be able to do something productive with it so you can grow that money, right? So buy you a lesser tier bag and then put the other money, do something productive with it. Because
I
it's
agree.
ridiculous for these women to be in these relationships with these high profile rich men, and at the end of the relationship all they got to show for the shit is some purses and some shoes. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So ladies, what I want you to do is take my class where I'm gonna show you how to get your stash on and how to maximize this nigga money as a girlfriend. Take my class coming soon.
No.
Speaking of ladies, shout out to Sugar Bob for the 2nd member. She says 12:30 a.m. here in Spain. Okay, Sugar Bob's in Spain.
Oh, excuse me.
He's in Spain. Okay. She
said,
her sugar daddy.
And she said, Diva, this man paid for the whole birthday trip. I'll keep mine on a swivel. Happy birthday to Sugar.
Happy birthday, Sugar.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, she's a Scorpio. Happy birthday,
birthday.
Sugar Month.
Yeah, get
Hopefully
that
you
nigga
enjoy
money.
yourself.
Make
Not only that, but it's your birthday trip and you still watching people podcast. What are you doing?
That's dedication.
She loves
That's not dedication. Right. That's an addiction. You on birthday? You in Spain? What the hell you doing on the podcast?
That's
no offense, but no happy birthday. But yeah, you supposed to be relaxing. You on vacation. You better ask Hakeem. I told Hakeem, you better not even touch the live stream.
Yeah.
No live streaming. You on vacation. Don't even look at nobody live. You know what I mean?
That was actually a good point, Y High. As a girlfriend, if you have a child, at the very least, make that nigga get a life insurance policy and put you and your child.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know why guys don't do that. Bro, I was telling somebody that today about that in my job. I was telling them, hey, like you got life insurance. You supposed to, if you have a child, you're supposed to put your children on your life insurance. I don't know. The black community be backwards, man. I don't know what's going on, man. That's free money.
PhD.
Do not do the black community. You is not finna do the black community because.
But you couldn't agree to that because you even say black men don't have life insurance. You said that the other day.
I said get life insurance, but actually, black people are more likely to have a life insurance policy than any other group. So cut it out. You is not finna do black people. But what I'm saying is, just because you have a life insurance policy, he might have had one and had his mama as the beneficiary.
Yep, usually.
Once you have that baby, then you need to make sure he get one or get another one and make you and your child as the beneficiaries of it.
You think he had one, or you think his mom had one on him because he knew he was gonna be in the streets? Because some black women do that.
Right? Yeah, she might have had one on him. That's a good point. But as the mother of a child, especially a rapper, rapper is a very dangerous occupation.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is very. Depends on what rap though. Depends. Go ahead.
PhD, but I wanted to ask you. No, go ahead, Rufus.
Go ahead. Do your thing, Hakeem.
PhD, but don't a lot of older women usually when they dealing with a man at a later age, they start to do things like that? Because I've heard a woman spoke one time on social media say she had a life insurance on the dude she was dealing with, and he was married, and some craziness like that.
You can't do that.
Ladies,
I,
it's always
I
a
was
good idea to get a life insurance policy on these men, and then cross your damn fingers and pray.
you can't do that without his consent though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean,
Yeah.
no. You can't do it without his
You
consent. But
can't.
a lot of times, if you're dealing with somebody like that, and you say, "Hey, let's get life insurance. We got this child here. You out here running these streets. Yeah, let's do it." And now that don't mean that he gonna go along with it, because my nephew actually used to sell life insurance, and he said he went to this couple and was saying, "Hey, y'all got a kid," trying to sell it to him. They was like, "No, no, no." He said a month or two later, the girl called him like the dude got killed and was asking, was it anything he could do? And he was like, "Hell no, lady."
Yeah, because you gotta do it before. Yeah, well, yeah, correct. Yeah.
So I would say this though, right? You guys, I know it's good, but you guys, she's still been. I'm 100% sure she benefited greatly being in a relationship with him.
You 100% sure, but you don't know, right? You
Well,
don't know what she got.
She was with him. She wasn't complaining.
Okay, just because it's a lot of women who with bums and ain't complaining, right?
No,
and so that don't mean that they're benefiting.
I mean, she was giving. I'm sure she had a lot of nice things and money in her account. She was taking care of. She didn't have to ask for nothing.
Well, he dead now, and so with her having a child, she needs to be able to provide for that child.
This is just like the women when they divorce the man or leave their man, right? The government gonna step in, daddy gonna step in, so she's gonna be all right because there's plenty of programs that's gonna help her and that child conceive. So it just like when women leave men, right?
You're not making sense.
And going with their child, they get help. So
you're not making sense though. If you think that she
going to be all right.
benefited so much from him and got so much money from him while he was alive, the idea that the government would be able to give her a little bit of food stamps, a little bit of, depending on how old the baby is, a little bit of WIC, a little bit of welfare if she lucky, and
Section 8.
Okay, a little bit of Section 8, and that's going to make up for all the money he was giving her. Like, that's ridiculous.
No, I'm not saying it's going to make up for it.
A lot of landlords don't.
In this country,
you don't know. Okay, this is the thing, Ruthless. But I don't understand how y'all don't even have emotional control, right? So it's impossible for you to have a conversation because you can't listen to another person speak.
You interjected with me. I'm just going back.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm cool with you. I'm just saying, right? I'm not saying, man, listen, of course you should have married her. I'm not saying that. But we don't know the whole story, right? We don't know all the context to their relationship. And I hope that she's doing okay. But I know one thing for sure in this country, especially a single mom, she's going to have access to a lot of help. You know what I mean? I'm sure she has family too. Plus, she, you know what I mean? So she's going to be all right. And, P and Billy Rock had a bad, unfortunate situation, right? Because I'm sure they weren't planning him for to die on that day over a meal. So, yeah.
Go ahead, PJ, final thoughts before we move on to the next topic, the main topic. Go right ahead. If you have any final thought.
No, we can move on.
Go right ahead. We at the 1 hour mark. So, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss when we go live. Go right ahead, Jordan.
All right, let's go to our main topic. We're going to talk about comedian Ryan Davis. So he put on his Instagram about bringing back masculinity. So he made a reel about there was a situation when it was a guy who got shot, and he called the police and then hanged up, and then I think it was a sister or a friend came trying to help out, called the police, and he was trying to call for help. And the dispatcher was like, "Is he breathing? Is he breathing?" And she was like, "He's barely breathing. Like, can you send somebody?" And then he kept asking her, "Is he breathing? Is he breathing?" And then she cuts like, "Are you? Come on!" It's like, "Yes, he's breathing. Are you kidding me?" And then this person got upset that he hung up on the chick, and I think he died instantly. And Ryan Davis was talking about how the dispatcher, how he wasn't really masculine enough, how he let him like when a woman was yelling at him, he got into his feelings and he hung up the phone on her. So this is D. Ray Davis talking about how to bring masculinity back. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
To become pro toxic masculinity, because toxic masculinity is still better than no masculinity at all. And a lot of men in today's society is exhibiting a level of bitch ass nigga that I have never seen in my life. And when a man does not exhibit any masculinity whatsoever, he becomes more of a danger to society than a man who has toxic masculinity. You don't believe me? Watch this video.
Tough piece of tape to listen to. It's a 17-year-old boy who passed away following a 911 call for help. The dispatcher hung up on the caller. The boy had been wounded during a drive-by shooting. As he lay there in distress, dying. A frantic woman who apparently knew the teen calls 911, tries to communicate to the dispatcher what's going on, what help she needs. She's obviously distressed, excited. Who wouldn't be? Listen to this.
I'm keeping him alive. Okay, is he not breathing? Barely. Hey, one of us. There you go, Dan. One of us. Yes. There you go, Dan. Good job. Just stay with me, okay? Okay? There you go. Good job, Dan.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, dog. He's barely breathing. How many times does the tell you?
Okay, you know what, ma'am? You could deal with yourself. I'm not going to deal with this, okay?
No, I can't.
So you let that young man pass away because your feelings was hurt. Because this girl cursed at you. That's what I be talking about when we get into you need men to express their feelings. No, you need a man to be about results. His feelings are secondary. I'm not saying that a man isn't supposed to have feelings or be able to express his feelings, but at some point, your feelings are not the most important thing. It's up to a man to be a problem solver. And instead of being a problem solver, he was like, well, if you're going to curse at me, then he just hung up the phone and let somebody die. If he was masculine, he would have been like, I don't really care. His brain would have went, I don't really care for what she said, but let me get this done. That's how my brain would have worked. Hell, I would have cussed back. She would have been like, how many times I got to fucking tell you? I would have said, well, bitch, I didn't hear you the first time, but where are you so I can send you help? That's very simple. But letting somebody pass because your feelings is hurt is crazy. Crazy. And they only suspended the dude. He should be in jail because he's an accomplice. He helped whoever shot that boy kill that boy. So that's how I feel about it. Toxic masculinity. I'm pro toxic masculinity. I'd rather him had cussed her out raggedy and still helped him than to act like the whole ass nigga he was acting like. Sorry. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. I'm about to become pro-toxic.
So there you go. That's Ryan Davis. That's a comedian. Go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take? Is he right?
No, he's wrong because as a man, you're supposed to be able to be cool, calm, and collective, and still able to get your point across. You don't have to be toxic to get your point across. And I think some people get misconstrued with the difference between toxic masculinity and masculinity. Masculinity is someone that's able to be able to control the situation in a crazy environment. Someone that's toxic pretty much is someone that's dealing with pretty much a lot of ego and a lot of low self-esteem. Some people may say, but to me, a man should be able to be a man. A man is a man. That situation with the dispatcher, that was a sad situation. That guy should be fired because someone's life was in jeopardy. Someone's life was in jeopardy, and then the way he handled the whole situation was totally wrong. And if I was a parent, I would sue that department. But at the same time, men should be able to learn how to control themselves in the midst of a strong environment. But I think now, because this day and age, people keep they keep labeling everything toxic masculinity, toxic behavior, all these other things. Just say, okay, there's a difference between a male, and there's also a difference between a man. Go right ahead, Hakeem. Your thoughts.
So for me, this had nothing to do with toxic masculinity. This was poor training. I think that because in that type of field, you're supposed to be able to control your emotions and handle that call in a situation. This is a lawsuit. And there are going to be ramifications behind that. Might go all the way up to the lieutenant. Because if you can't handle somebody in distress, and regardless if they're cussing people out and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. You got to be able to hold your composure. But people, man and women, supposed to handle these. If you're in this type of field, it's the same thing with police officers. You're supposed to handle high intense stress situation. So for me, this had a lot to do with training, maybe the lack of empathy in this type of situation, and hopefully he'll get retrained on what's going on.
Go right ahead, Ruthless or PhD. I can go. Go right ahead.
I'll let the ladies go first.
What, you trying to demonstrate some decency and decorum?
I'm trying to teach you.
All right. So I think that what the man demonstrated was a perfect example of toxic masculinity, right? So I'm not sure why Ryan Davis or David or whatever his name is was saying he didn't have any masculinity. It's a very masculine thing to hop in your ego and try to then play, who the biggest or who can outdo who, pull, who has the most authority in this situation. That's a very male thing to do. Very masculine. It might be on the toxic side of masculinity, but I think many men interact that way all the time, right? If we look at a lot of interactions with, say, police, they give these men a lawful order and the men buck. I ain't got to do nothing, right? And so, I'm just confused by why he would say that the man had no masculinity. So to me, it shows that Ryan Davis doesn't really know what masculinity is. That would be the only reason he characterized it that way. Now, I don't even think that it has to be an issue of masculinity. The guy sounded white. Black people, we gonna have to accept that a lot of these motherfuckers don't care and will see you just as soon see you die as see you breathe, right? There's been several accounts of people who worked in, typically males, who worked in like emergency services, whether they were firefighter or police, whatever, and talking about how they would purposefully allow Black people to die. And so even over and above an issue of masculinity, I would first say this is an issue of racism, right? Particularly since all the dude got was suspended, which is crazy. But I think Black people have to understand the landscape and start conducting ourselves accordingly. Now, the boy was injured in a drive-by. We don't know, if he was in that lifestyle or not, but I'm pretty sure he got somebody in his family who is at least adjacent to that lifestyle. Go start finding these people and dealing with them, right? So, it irks me that Black men to go to prison for all types of bullshit, but won't go deal with people who harm their family members. That's crazy to me. So yeah, go deal with his ass and make him understand the importance of having a dispatch an ambulance when one has been shot in a drive-by. Those are my thoughts. Damn training.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ruthless.
Well, once again, right, I agree with PhD on this, that toxic masculinity, that's just, he's just basically calling him a bitch. But hey, he said he's acting like a bitch. But I do agree there's no such thing. The dude was offended. He felt disrespected because maybe the way she worded it, or because of the way she worded it, and he decided he didn't no longer want to perform his duty, and his superiors will deal with him. But he was wrong. He got to be professional at all times and not let his ego get the best of him. But once again, we're not living in the perfect world. So this is what happens in these type of situations. Sometimes, like I said, she's emotional and she's not aware of how she should be speaking to people because she usually always speaks to people like this. This is probably how she always is when she gets really emotional. She starts, motherfucker, I told you. Like she loses her sense of emotional intelligence, of self-awareness that, okay, I need to be professional because this is a very important situation. And I don't want to trigger nobody at this point where we're going to get this done. So let me maintain frame so that we can get a clear, concise location and information out to this person and maybe a different outcome.
For me, as a dispatcher, when it comes to crisis, you're going to experience any type of calls like this. I bet you a lot of dispatchers experience thousands of calls of, something in the crisis, somebody getting shot, and they're not really thinking, their mind's all over the place and everything, and they want to get help as immediately as quick as possible and everything. So for that dispatcher to just say, I'm not going to take it no more. For me, you should be a dispatcher. You should be fired immediately because you're going to experience more calls like this. You should have been a better professional of planning certain situations like that because, you're not, like I said, it's probably not the first time you're going to get cussed out. You might get cussed out from a Hispanic or Hispanic one. They might cuss you out in Spanish. Somebody will cuss you out in any type of languages or like type of that. But it's just important to, when it comes to crisis, you handle it professionally and get the help as possible. Because because once the lady said, is he breathing? He's barely breathing. That's when you should immediately send help. I don't know why he kept asking he's still breathing or not. So maybe he was new to the job. That it seems like that, and he just need to be a little bit more professional. I really don't think it's more of a. I really don't think it's more of a toxic masculinity thing because when it comes to calls like this, there's protocols what you got to do, especially when it comes to crisis, when somebody gets shot or somebody having a heart attack, somebody having a stroke, whatever. So there's specific protocol you have to follow. But when it comes to when it comes to this with the guy, I don't think this is the type of job for him because it's going to be more calls like that, and it might be people be more volatile of cussing. Say B mother effers, you ass this da 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 da. So I don't think he's capable of as him being a dispatcher. He should get another job. That's my take on it.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta understand something like that. That's a very stressful situation. Someone called like someone got shot by a drive-by shooting. I know sometimes you could be very intense because I'm not a dispatcher, but when I see like all these type of documentaries, how when you see police shows and people call in and talk about situations that is occurring, you see like them people being a whole lot of stress, especially for a man. So you got a woman calling in and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. Why you asking me millions of questions? Someone just been shot." A lot goes through their minds. Some people just don't know how to handle that type of situation. That's why I can't come from the aspect of them being retrained. But in this case, I don't think this guy need to be trained. I think this guy need to be fired,
Yeah.
and also the department need to be sued because even though he was dealing with a woman that was very hostile, he should have been able to say, "Hey, hold on a minute. Let me send a paramedic immediately right your way." He shouldn't be asking 150 questions because normally when they still ask you questions, they say, "Don't worry, paramedics is on the way." He didn't even mention that. He just kept going in and out, like arguing with the lady. So that was a fair situation. I'm sorry.
So
He need to be held accountable. Go ahead.
Just to say that, I'm sure there's sort of policy that's in place for these type of things.
Of course.
Maybe the companies are sympathetic with the workers. I don't know, right? But once again, right, the company's gonna deal with them how they see fit, and they probably get a lot of fake calls. Right?
That's true too.
So I mean, you know what I mean. So they don't know. Sometimes these people give them sending people, and they know nothing's happening, and so they can't really decipher. So he's just trying to narrow her down and get her to the thing. But you're right, though. He still got to maintain his professionalism at all times.
Correct.
Right? So
Correct.
I really agree with that. That I don't know about being fired, but I would agree with Hakeem that maybe he needs to be trained.
Yeah.
To deal with this type of situation because maybe they like the guy. Obviously they like him. They just suspended him. So maybe he just needs more training.
So
Maybe they just don't care,
yeah,
right?
That's also true too.
Unless they get sued or something to that effect. But I'm just curious, how many times do you need to ask a person whether or not the person who got shot is breathing before you know, oh, okay, an ambulance needs to be sent, right? That's why she cursed at him, because he asked her several different times. I think I counted 3 different times if he's fucking breathing.
Correct.
If
That's what
I
I'm saying.
call you and say, hey, somebody been shot in a drive-by, the first time, are they breathing? Barely. Barely is what I tell you. And you got to ask again and then another time, because barely probably is going to get even more barely and even more barely until they're not breathing anymore. It's rare that you're barely breathing and then come back to full breathing on your own. And so the
Correct.
idea that he needed to ask that question 3 times at least is absolutely asinine,
hmm
right? So he had no urgency to begin with.
He
And
didn't
now you got
care.
to ask yourself why. Right.
He
And
didn't
so,
care.
damn retraining. They suspended him. They don't care. But I'm sure his family members certainly care. And so, again, black men, you willing to go to prison for a bunch of dumb shit, make the shit count sometimes.
Sue.
so so I want to give context on why I say that, because look what happened now. They suspended him. More than likely, they're going to retrain him. Every time you have situations like these, instead of doing the right thing, I 100% agree with you. He should be let go. But the first thing they're going to say, he needs to be retrained. He might need to take a diversity inclusion class. You know what I mean? Or retrained on handling his pistol. And this is how more or less these forces go. Or they say, hey, we're going to get the union involved and stuff like that. And whatever excuse they're going to give. Don't get me wrong. He did a messed up thing. But this is how a lot of these this is how a lot of these hierarchies go about these things.
I don't know. You see Mimi? Did you see Mimi comment? You got highlight her comment. She was saying from the very beginning of the job, the application process. Go ahead, I can.
Yeah, for the very beginning of the job application process started vetting and training. They are instructed to send a unit. They can clarify. They've been immediately send paramedics. They both show up. You're right. And a lot of these people take lie detector tests to get these jobs. And still somebody like that slipped through the cracks.
Which is true. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I think I think the department didn't care. It's the same time with the story with the police officer. You see how sometimes when they handle a situation, the first thing they do, they grab the gun, and people are like, "Why are you grabbing the gun first? You're supposed to control the situation." It's like you trying to delete somebody, and then when they delete somebody, they're like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know it was a stun gun. I realized it was a regular gun." Remember the lady we did a story about that, where the
Yeah, yeah.
lady
In
pretty much
Minnesota.
shot the guy trying to get him out of the car, and she thought she was trying. And even they say they were like, "Why you got your gun? Your gun's supposed to be on your left side, but you quickly went. You got to your. I mean, sorry, your stun gun's on your left side, but you quickly went to your right side where your gun is at. So it's like you were trying to do something. So that was I agree on some of the stuff he even was saying when it comes to that. I think they want some of us gone. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But that was a sad situation. Jordan, I don't know. Moving forward, I don't know where you have anything else in store.
Oh,
But
yes,
yeah,
we
that's a
do.
sad
Yes,
situation.
we do. We gonna have a little fun on this one. So the next topic, this video went viral, and this was a group of black men in Atlanta gave their opinion on why people voted for Trump over Kamala Harris. And this was all over social media, especially on Instagram, and a lot of people, especially women, had a lot of things to say about black men voting for Trump. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip. And after that, we'll chop it up.
Kamala ain't like take no stance on nothing. Like she wasn't clear. Like she wasn't standing on nothing. Trump was at least standing on stuff. Like he had clear. He told you what he was gonna do, what he wanted. She was like flip flop. Like she wasn't standing. She wasn't standing on nothing. Like society getting soft. Like everything's so soft, sensitive, filtered, and all that. And then you got Trump. He gonna say what he want, like regardless. He don't really got no filter. He gonna say what he want.
As far as the right, there are a lot of young men who see themselves in the examples that they're seeing on the right. They see principled people, whether they come from the same religious or social background as they do. They see people who are about their family. On the left, you see this notion that a family can look like anything other than a man and a woman. And there are a lot of young men who don't believe in that. They don't agree with that.
In other communities,
It's like Kamala ain't like take no stance on
communities that decided to side with the Republican Party. And I don't know everything, but one of my theories is because we're not meeting the needs of average, everyday working citizens. People are telling you groceries are too high. People are telling you that rent prices are out of control.
They will, tend to hedge toward conservatism because those clips speak to them better. The Joe Rogans of the world, all those, kind of conservative clips that they listen to or podcasts that they listen to speak to them.
Communities that decided to side with the Republican Party. And I don't know
So even though the majority of black men voted for Kamala Harris, there was there's still a lot of men that say, what 20%, what was it, 21%, 20% of men voted for Trump, right? That was on the
that's correct.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's correct.
So, which was, if you go back to the 2020 election, it was 11% of black men voted for Donald Trump, and now we see from 2020 for 2024, we see there's almost a 10% that black men are really going to conservatorship. And like what the man was saying, it's like, when it comes to people watching YouTube or people watching podcasts, and most of the people that listen to it are really conservative and everything, they're not really liberal. And also you see that, the millennials and also Generation Z's, they're leaning more of the conservative role, especially as not just black men, but men in general and everything. So let's say the next election comes and whoever's, who's gonna run for president and everything, we might see an increase of number that there are a lot more men or black men will, see definitely an increase that will they might vote more Republican than Democrats. And we're seeing a number so far as there's a lot more black men voting for Trump than Kamala Harris, as we see. So go ahead, Kim. What's your take on what the video that we saw? And do you see a lot more black men or men in general that you will see that millennials and also the Generation Zs, will they vote more Republican than Democrat in the future?
I feel that black men now maybe are a little bit more confident and have built up enough courage to come out of the Democratic shadows. Because, men in general are all conservative. We just tend to lean more than what our family is more aligned to. So I do see this is a rise of more and more people coming out as conservatives, coming out as being very like, okay, I don't agree with this, and that, which might be fundamentally opposed to what their woman might think, or say that, hey, the food stamps, the Social Security, these government programs you live and thrive off and were all provided by Democrats. And even then, some guys just to say, hey, there's other things that they feel so strongly about that. Okay, no, I'm not with that. Most men tend to be conservative, but to not get their women mad or their family, they'll vote Democrat.
That's what I'm gonna say. Is the fear of the woman. That's why they vote Democrat. Majority of the time during this not this pandemic, during the election process, you see that a lot of black women kept saying, if you vote for Donald Trump, I'm not gonna sleep with you, I'm not gonna date you, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. So a lot of black men was afraid if I vote Trump, I'm not gonna get the kitty cat. So they voted Kamala Harris. So like PG even say it all the time, black man, where's your backbone? A lot of black men didn't have backbone. And the men that did have backbone, they getting a lot of backlash. They said, why are you voting on quote unquote racist guy in when you know he's gonna do harm to the community? The community already doing harm to itself. So it's not no white man doing anything. So it just is what it is. Go right ahead, Ruthless.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Ronnie. I think I'm embarrassed of black men, particularly. Not only this is not the first time, right? They did the same thing with Hillary Clinton, right? Right, at a higher clip. So black men, particularly, they try to please their black women by saying, we're gonna support you guys, even though we know that you guys aren't so happy with us, but we're still gonna try to bridge this gap. But with that being said, the results are in, right? That the black women are still not totally siding with black men because they still think that the white man ICE is colder. So I don't know what else black men can do to show other than show their support. They already definitely show it with their finances. They definitely show it with their loyalty to the black woman. So I just really believe that it's a bad deal to try to follow the black women in their plight, because us men, black men particularly, they don't really do nothing for us, the Democrats nor the Republicans, right? And crazy part about it, Donald Trump didn't even need our votes, right? So we didn't have to vote for nobody. We could just stay neutral. And we say, hey, we don't believe any one of these parties have our best interests, right? If the black woman want to go ahead and vote, that's fine. But we could have stayed neutral and not participated because there was nothing in there that's, catered to black men in any kind of way. No policies, nothing. So it just shows that we're soft as motherfucking cotton, and we're ready. A lot of black men are ready for women to lead them.
Supreme Goddess?
Okay. Well, what do I think? So it's interesting to me that black men, or at least a portion of black men, right? Because it was 21% that voted for him. There just seems to be an uptick in black men who at least purport to have conservative values. Now, the the details of their lives would say otherwise, right? But they want to espouse these values, even if they aren't living by those values. And I think part of it is that maybe they think if they act, think, etc., like white males, then they'll come out of their diminished position and somehow be able to stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder with the white men and co-rule. This is just what I think. Like maybe they have this type of fantasy, but it's not going to happen, right? So the research shows that political conservatism in this country has a very high correlation with racism, right? So one of the things I always ask conservative black men is, what are you trying to conserve? So the overlap between political conservatism and racism at certain points has been so great that they were basically one and the same, right? And so that is why these conservatives are always hearkening back to a better time, right? So make America great again, right? But when was it great? And then I think black men have to ask themselves, when it was great, what was your position in that society, right? So it really doesn't make sense to me, although I do agree with Ruthless that neither party offers much of anything to black people, period, right? So I just don't understand why black people be so staunch in their support of either one of them, right? Because neither one of them ain't gonna do nothing for you. Nevertheless, I think the important thing to point out is we already know who Trump is appointing as his associate chief of staff, and this man has a long history of being a racist, right? So already Trump is talking about giving reparations to white people who have been harmed by DEI programs, right? And so these black men who voted for him now have to ask themselves, where do I fit into this, right? because
Am I right?
they certainly don't think that y'all should have any you shouldn't be able, they think that they should have all of the resources, right? So these DEI programs are associated with resources. They're called like redistributive programs. And that's why they always focus on college admissions, like jobs, that type of thing. And so they don't want them to have no resources. In fact, they think if you get the resources, by definition, some white person had to have been discriminated against, right? Because white people are qualified and you, nigga, are not.
Okay, but PG, let me know your thoughts. Do you see the clip of Trick Daddy? Trick Daddy talking about he's not African American. Do you see that one?
I haven't seen it. No.
You didn't see it. Jordan, can you get that? Can you get that clip real quick? I want you.
I got it.
You got it?
Go ahead. Continue talking. I'll get it for you.
No, because that clip it showed that even Trick Daddy even said that I'm not African American. I was never born in Africa. My mom not African. My mom not African. We all American. So,
right. Okay.
So if you have black men have that same mindset that we all American, so everything though, even though they say white men are getting the benefit, and we all supposed to get the benefit because we all Americans.
Right. So we can say we're all Americans. And by the way, I actually agree with with Trick Daddy, right? So
really? Wow! I can't wait to play the clip.
So do I. Go ahead.
We're gonna play the clip, but go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. Finish, easy.
Oh, okay. Because I agree. We are. So the thing is, people like to try to equate us, Black Americans, who were among the first people here in what became this country, and who actually built this country with literal blood, sweat, and tears. But people like to try to equate us with immigrants. And so when you call Black Americans African Americans, not only is it incorrect because not all Black people who were here came from Africa, right? There were Black people in this country before the slave trade. And during the slave trade, a very small amount of the enslaved people were actually brought to this country, right? We had breeding farms, which is where we got most of our population of enslaved people. Nevertheless, so calling us African American kind of equates us with immigrants, people who, because now the people who coming over here from Africa, they can call themselves African American. I heard Charlize Theron, who is a white woman, refer to herself as African American, right? And so I totally agree that no, we are not African Americans. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't think by virtue of us acknowledging that we're Americans, because we are, that means that we're still going to be equal to white folks, right? Because this country was created on the basis of racism. And so it's baked into the American apple pie, right? It's baked in there. And so it's going to show itself in every aspect of life, which it totally does. And so, yes, we are Black Americans, but that don't mean these crackers ain't gonna still try to get all of the resources for themselves. I think a lot of us don't realize that we are in a group-based competition for resources, and I need the men to understand this, right? And so they want to win. So American or not, they still want their team to win, and they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure they do.
Well, I can't play that clip with Trick Daddy with African American. I came there.
It should be. I already sent it to him.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Play the clip with Trick Daddy talking about African American. I want to know PhD with thoughts and also Ruthless thoughts on that, and Jordan as well.
My mama can't tell me not one story about Africa. My grandma ain't never tell me one story about no motherfucking Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa. All I know is all the African people I know and run into, they think they better than us over here. So what you pussies worry about me saying that I'm not African? I'm just American. The fuck is wrong with you niggas? You niggas got a problem? And fuck your motherfucking podcast. Fuck your show, nigga. Don't bring my motherfucking name up. I don't know you, pussy. So I'm not bringing you niggas' name. I'm still not saying you niggas' name. So what the fuck you mean? This your show you can talk about. You got my name in your mouth, pussy. Both of you look-alike ass pussies. And I'm with the shit. I don't care how old I am. But we about the same age, nigga. Oh, y'all, Africa this. Ain't there one of you motherfuckers trying to go back to Africa? Who trying to go back to Africa? Everybody come over here to America. Talk about, cause back at home, cause back in my country, take your ass back to your country. I'm from America. They can't deport me. They can't come get me.
He was hot. Boy,
My
he was
mama
hot.
can't tell me not one story about Africa. My
Shout out to
grandma ain't
Trick
never
Daddy. He
tell
was
me.
hot though. But he was speaking some truth
Hey,
though. But go ahead, Jordan.
I'm gonna say this. On my birth certificate, it says Black American. On my daughter's birth certificate, it says Black American. I'm a Black American. I just want to say all that. Now going back to the other video, we talk about how Trump a lot of Black Americans. You see, we saw an uptick of a lot of Black men voted for Trump than Kamala Harris. So it was 78% was people voted for Kamala, and 20% was for Trump, and then there's a 2%, which is the independent, which I think I'm in the party, which either they voted for Kamala Harris or Trump, or didn't vote for, or did not vote whatsoever about the president. Personally, for me, I did not vote for. Like I said, I didn't vote for any president. I put my name as president. I was gonna put somebody else's name, but I put my name on it because I'm all part as a group as Black men. It's like I'm more about tangibles. What can the Republicans or the Democrats can do for us as Black men, also as Black people? If you can't do anything about it, then you're not gonna get my vote. I'm gonna talk about here in California, Governor Newsom. He had a reparation bill that that we wrote for 2 years ago. It was a big thing in California, and the bill was on. And there was a lot of bills that the governor looked at. And I remember this like a month ago. There was a lot of Black people was at the governor's hall and demanded, said, hey, at least look at the reparation bill. So if it approves it, he can put on the proposition here in California and see if we can vote if we could get reparation, which I think was like a plan or anything like that. But Governor Newsom did not do that, and he did not. I think he vetoed it, so it didn't happen. So if he runs for the 2028 election for the Democrats, I'm gonna be on his ass about it, and I know a lot of Black people in California is gonna be on Governor Newsom's ass about it when it comes to reparation, because if he runs, that's the first thing that me or other Black people gonna bring up about it. There was a reparation bill that he could have brought up, and he did not do that. And for me, I think it should show for like all Black people that's from the Democrats. It just shows that not just Democrats in general, they're not really for us, because a lot of Black people, we vote for Democrat, and hopefully we can also delineate from that and not try to really go to the Republican side, but be into the independent side and just vote for whoever is going to help you out as a group of race and this group for people. And that's really I'm all about. When I was younger, I was born in a in the Black family, it's like, okay, vote Democrat, vote Democrat, vote Democrat. But as I got older and seeing, it's like, okay, what are these, politicians do for our people, not just from the government, but what they doing in our city and what they're doing in our state. And once I figure all that out, I say, you know what? I feel like there's a more power with withholding your vote, withholding your vote, because I think there's instead of picking somebody to vote just because they're gonna do something, but necessarily they're not gonna do for you. So I'm more of a believer, like if you want to withhold your vote and they're not gonna do for you, they're not gonna do for you. And hopefully we'll see more numbers in that in our Black community, which it could take generations for generations. But we are seeing that our younger generation, they're not, especially as Black men, even if it's not a lot, we're seeing that there's a little tick that, they get away, they're delineate from the Democrat side and looking at, either being more independent or also look at the Republican side. But for me, I'm all about what you're gonna do for us as tangibles. If you're not gonna get our vote. And as simple as that. But yeah, but going back to Trick Daddy, I agree with 100%. Go ahead. I don't know, Ruthless PhD or Hakeem want to go.
Okay, I'll go this time. Yeah, I'm black living in America, right? I always thought that. I learned when I was very young, real quick, real fast, that America does not really take kind of black people. They just really don't like us so much. Now, there's a few whites that are cool. I ain't gonna say all white people don't fuck with us, but for the most part, I do believe there's a disconnect due to history, the historical acts. There's a big disconnect between blacks and Americans. So especially when it comes to politics, and we're dealing with the paramilitary, I just really don't understand that. I don't think black people understand that white people really, they don't respect us. And even in the Democrats, when they cater to, like, they talk to us, right? They talk to us like good, right? Like, yeah, you ain't Democrat. If you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. Now, like, who says stuff like that, right? That's something that's like elementary type shit to say this. So they don't believe we're sophisticated. They don't believe we have any, intellectualism. They just put big booty girls on the stage on the twerk and say slogans. That's pretty much their, and they get, and then it worked. That's the crazy.
Yeah, because that's what black people like. Because that's what black people like. Black people like to see booty shake. Well, especially black men, booty shaking and sexy women.
They don't want to hear the breakdown of policy. They don't want to hear it, even though they sit up there and say it. But at the end of the day, they still voted, even though the Democrats ain't demonstrated the very thing that's going to help us as a black people. They haven't. They just say whatever and then move on. So, and the last thing, I do believe the Democrats ran a very successful campaign. Because they wiped out the minorities. They took that. And that was their campaign. I think where they lost it, they underestimated white people's loyalty.
The majority, and the majority,
and
the majority,
white people, white people. Right? They were more concerned about their wallet than they were voting for their race. So
correct.
Other than that, if the Democrats could have brought a better economic plan for the white people to save money, they would have took it hands down, because the Democrats crushed the blacks, the Latinas, the black men and women. So they dominated in the minority category. Now I'm landed there.
Before you go, why high? I'm gonna say this when it comes to reparations, 1968. But I would say this though. At this time, when it comes to reparation, when is it in history that you see politicians is talking about it like that? I can't remember it. Let PSU help me out, because I can't remember in the 60s, 70s, or 80s where I remember like politicians are actually talking about it and actually putting a bill upon it. So I don't know. I just want to tell why high that. PhD, if you could let me know, I can't remember any time that politicians are actually talk about discussing it and actually putting it on the bill.
Outside of Reconstruction, I don't know that that's ever happened, until now either. So, but I think white people voted for their race. They understand that these people are who they are and what they're about, right? So and look at it this way, in terms of priority. Now, before he has even taken office, he talking about giving reparations to white folks who are victims of DEI programs. What specific economic policy he done talked about since he got elected? Right? So we know the priority, right? And so again, I just think it's weird that black men would want to align themselves with that. I think black people, and I think this is very an ineffective means of selecting who you're gonna vote for, but black people just automatically associate them with racism, and with good reason, right? They've demonstrated time and time again. Even black Republicans, when they be keeping it real, will tell you that there's a lot of racism over there. Now, it's a lot of racism on the other side too. Democrats are racist. It just takes a different form. It's an overt racism versus a more symbolic or covert racism. And so Black people gonna have to recognize and realize and accept that neither side is really trying to do anything for us. And so what does that mean? What do we do? How do we respond? Unfortunately, Ruthless said that they think white people don't think we sophisticated or blah, 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 blah. A lot of times we aren't, right? And so again, in these spaces, we hear about men and how they're so logical and they're problem solvers. I think somebody mentioned that earlier tonight. But which of our problems have Black men been able to solve? Right? It's always asking white daddy or expecting white daddy to do something. And so until we become more self-determined and proactive about what we want and realizing that they ain't gonna give us shit, we're gonna have to take whatever we get or create it ourselves, then we're always gonna be in the same position.
So here's my thing, Paige. David, let me ask you a question. Because I remember one time I heard a podcast that said our reparation is food stamp. So
You shut up, boy.
No, because they get food stamps too, right? And so how is that repairing us when they get food stamps and
I
more
already
of
know
them
what he
get food
said.
stamps than us?
I already said it because I heard him say it. I was like, oh my God, you can't be serious. But
Right.
that was his point of view. He said his reparations food stamp. So I'm gonna take advantage of it. And because they're not giving us reparations, so why not take advantage of the food stamps, the Section 8, all that? So why not take advantage of it?
Certainly, if you qualify for it, then take advantage of it. Get all of it. But I wouldn't want to live that lifestyle, right? And I wouldn't want to have to live off of what the government welfare programs would afford, right? And so I'm not going to go and accept that. But if you can get it, certainly get it. But I still think there needs to be some type of reparation, but I don't even think we understand what power we have and what our influence is, right? So the power we have is social, right? We got social influence and we will not use it. We will not use it to our own advantage. Tell all these crackers to stay away from you. But see, Black people love being around white people, right? And so, look, again, we're going to have to figure out
No,
some
because we love to be around them, Paige Diva. Because we trying to know our enemies. You gotta know your enemies before you destroy them. You know that, right?
Well, that's the thing. We done been knowing them for 400 years, right? We've been around them for 400 years and still don't know them, right? So a lot of people would still, right. A lot of people still was surprised. A lot of Black women was surprised that them white bitches voted for Trump, right? And so we've been around them for 400 years and still don't know that these stinking ass white bitches is stinking ass white bitches.
Oh yeah, you want to see the clip of that white woman talking about when she found out Kamala has won? I said that to my family. I was dying. It been going viral. It's a white because they troll a white woman talking about Kamala has won. She was upset. What? She like, no women go run this. Yeah, you see the video? I can't.
No.
Jordan, find that video. It's training about. No, they were trolling the lady. The lady, she's an old white lady. She like, what? I was sending that video to my family member. Yeah. Jordan, see if you can find it before we go, so we can show PhD so she can laugh real quick.
Which one
that
was
did
it?
have
Which
me.
one is it?
It was a white lady. It's a white lady. She's a big white lady. Go to the shade room. You see, it's a big white lady.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, hold on.
PhD is the most funniest thing in the world. I was saying it to my family members. Show, look, this is how they stick together. People don't understand. People laughing at the video, but they don't understand the sentiment of the video. They really stick together. You get what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. Hold up, Jordan gonna show us to the Hakeem, and then he's gonna play it. And then we got our head on what
All right, I'm gonna see
Go ahead, Hakeem, play the video. Y'all gonna die like I was dying. I was dying. But go ahead, wait, Hakeem.
Go ahead and play it. I'll send it to you.
Just found a batch of new ballots. 40 million new ballots. Kamala Harris is president-elect.
Bullshit! She better not have.
You know what? Hillary Clinton and her are working together. They're hiding files.
What?
She's your president, Tina.
She ain't my president.
She just won the election.
A woman can't run this country.
God, not if it's like you.
Oh, I get it straight.
They just found a batch of new ballots.
Oh my God.
40 million new
Yeah, they
ballots.
stay
Kamala
together.
Harris
Play
is
it again. I
president-elect.
can't play it again. She better not have.
You know what? Hillary Clinton and her are working together. They're hiding files.
What?
She's your president,
She
Tina.
ain't my president.
She just won the election.
A woman can't run this country.
God, not if it's like you.
Oh, I get it straight.
See,
They just found a
that's
batch
your
of
point
new
right
ballots.
there. Your point right there's being made. They stick together. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's funny though that she think she can't even run her big ass around the block, but think she can run the country.
You
Crazy.
shut up.
I told some, and then I told you, Jordan Hakeem, the next president, a woman, gonna be a white woman. Did I tell you? It's gonna watch what I tell you. It's not gonna be no black woman. Best
But
believe that.
you'll never know.
You say you'll never know, Ruthless. They ain't gonna like that. They ain't gonna make it happen.
See, like this, Hillary Clinton ran. She could. I just don't think right now. Will I eventually think there'll be a women president? I think there's going to be one. But you're right. You might be right. She might have to be white first, right? She might have to be white first. But it's going to be a. I don't know though. White women and white men are not very. They're not very pro-woman president. They're just not, and they got the majority votes. We've seen that they don't need. Listen, Democrats destroyed them in the minority votes. So we see that white people don't need the minorities to move their movement. They can move with or without us.
Yep. Well, so they did get the Latino male vote, and so that was the other thing. Black people, okay, again, black people are not very sophisticated psychologically, and so we've been saying black and brown for a very long time when a lot of those so-called brown people think they white. In their own heads, they're white. Y'all are from Miami. Y'all know them Cubans think they white, right? And so we keep getting duped and falling for the banana in the tailpipe because we want so bad to be in coalition with other people rather than understanding that we all we got and we ain't got no goddamn friends.
But okay, PJ, you think the problem is we don't know our identity? That's what's keeping us in the hole because we don't know our identity.
What do you mean we don't know our identity?
Yeah, Prime says a lot of people, especially a lot of pro-blacks, speak about that a lot. Like we don't know our identity. That's what keeps us in the hole. Like we don't know the power we have within ourselves. So they always gonna keep us in the back line. We always going around in circles.
Okay, so but what do you mean by identity?
Like Prime time, we call ourselves African Americans. We call ourselves black. We don't really know our true identity, and that's what keep us right in the middle.
I mean, but does anybody know their true identity?
Or Hispanics, they call themselves Hispanic. White call themselves white.
Right, but how would Hispanic be their true identity? They were colonized by, you know what I'm saying? And so they don't know their true identity either. Because a lot of the people who were the first people in those land masses were exterminated, right? And so a lot of those, so if you go to like Brazil or Argentina, a lot of those people are not Hispanic, right? They are actually European. So I don't think at this point there's been so much migration, so much mixing of groups. I mean, what is our true identity for anybody, for any group, right? Because the first Europeans were so-called black people. Okay, they're not now. And so what's the true identity?
Good point. We don't know because we mix with everything.
So let me hop in on this one, right? I don't think identity is very important to know the difference between where we get in and where we fit in, right? We understand the history. We have historical information on how America feels about it through slavery, after slavery, pre-slavery, post-slavery, etc. Right? We have enough. We know enough. There's no excuse to say, well, I didn't know. I just thought, they called me black and I thought I was American and it kind of went together. And we know that, and one thing we can become a citizen of black men and women, that America and us really don't truly have a great history together. And still to this day, don't see eye to eye. So I just think black people need to mind their own business and get their houses in order and just focus on their survival methods of survival. And then trying to get involved in all this this trash of politics, which we all know that the people with the money are going to have their way, right? All these great, powerful entities with all this capital, ultimately, they're going to get their way because they're going to pay what they weigh. So we need to, once again, I just think black people want to feel like they belong. They want to feel, they want to try to get in and fit in. Like we're trying to be something that we're really not. And we know this truly deep down because the white people really look at us in a funny kind of way, right? They treat us very funny kind of way. We know it, but we just kind of like got to fight through it. Fuck that. We're trying to fight for somebody to like you and just be you and live your life. And you don't have to even be worried about what they're doing on that other side. That's just the way I think about it.
And PhD, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of black men out here. We really do be trying to be the man that you be talking about, but I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard.
It is, but that's why
it's 1 against 10. It's 1 against 10.
But what y'all have to understand is that your strength is in your numbers, and so y'all gonna have to work together. And that's not.
And that's also including the women as well too. The women gotta be behind us as well as we move.
If y'all was able to get yourselves together and be able to work together, right? And that's all of you, right? And so part of the problem is every time you take a step forward, you go 3 steps back, right? So even the men who are able to elevate to the top of their respective craft or whatever, take a lot of the athletes or whatever, will still go and give their money back to the same community that made them have to struggle in the first place, right? There's no sense of reaching back to help even if it's just black males, right? I just feel like with all the issues that are plaguing, the black male collective in this country, rather than asking some white politician who only gonna lie to your face, and then when you vote them in, ain't gonna do shit for you, no way. Why not have those men create institutions for you? Or even somebody like LeBron, right? So he's sending kids to college, but he's sending everybody kids to college. That's a problem. You got to be race minded the same way they are. They not doing shit for your kids. Why every time when y'all get a little bit, you feel like you got to get them something too? And so I think one of the things Ruthless was talking about is how they view us and what they think of us. But the problem is how we view us and what we think of us, right? So we got to get our mindsets right. I think Jordan actually mentioned that earlier. We got to get our collective mindsets together before we're going to be able to do anything.
Like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. PhD, that was like a gem. That was a perfect time.
Mic drop.
That was a mic drop. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ruthless Truth. Thank you, thank you, Supreme Cause PhD. But that was a mic drop. I ain't gonna lie. That was a mic drop. And I ain't PhD, but I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people say you should get into the political world. You got money now. Why not?
I ain't got enough money to be a politician.
Oh no, we'll support you.
That's how
you get rich. Look at Kamala Harris, raised like $1 billion, but she paid all those celebrities. She broke now. She paid all those celebrities.
Broke now.
Donald Trump said he gonna get her some money, huh? She did. She paid all those celebrities. And I think she paid Oprah. Oprah said she lied. She didn't even pay her. I knew she didn't pay Oprah because I'm like, Oprah's a billionaire. How the hell you gonna pay Oprah? Go ahead. Go ahead, Ruthless. You was gonna say something?
No. Yeah, but one thing black people gonna learn, right? And I don't know what is gonna happen. That we are better together than we are apart.
Yep.
I agree.
But to bring that, but before that happens, right? We first have to bridge the gap of distrust, disloyalty that has divided us at an all-time level, and that starts with how we carry each other, right? How we communicate, right?
I agree.
Effective communication rules a nation.
Pretty Ruthless, okay.
And, this is why I try to always be, and there's times I got my feelings because people attack me and I attack back. But ultimately, I made a pledge of allegiance to myself. I said, when I come on these YouTube streets, I'm not finna talk about how I'm gonna do something to you or we're gonna fight. No, we gonna have to learn to work this out other ways besides those things, because winning in an argument that has no substance brings no revelation, nor does it gather us in a way where we can be conducive to success as a community. It only makes me and makes you hate each other more. So the first thing we have to do is learn to effectively communicate with each other without being so derogative. Learning how to use words, right? Everything got to be nigga. Well, I mean, nigga's okay, but certain times where you use nigga, like if you use it just because you're using an argument with nigga, right? And there's negative ways to use it, or motherfucker, or or
Ruthless, you talking about me?
Oh no, I'm not talking about you.
No, he's not talking about you.
I would never talk about you, Queen. So anyway, right? Right? I never talk about my queen, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never gonna cuss me out. Right? But anyway, so what I said is, once we learn to effectively communicate with each other, then the bridges will come together, right? It would start there and then things will come. But until then, well, it's some verbal assassins on this motherfucking planet. And
boy, Ruthless, you on fire, man. Why were you about to end the show? You on fire. I'm proud of you. You're growing. You cooking. You and PhD, y'all cooking. Y'all need, well, PhD even need to go political. Ruthless, you need to be a pastor somewhere.
Not the pastor. You're gonna be collecting all our tithes money.
Shout out to the mom, mother, and Natasha Vincent, always holding it down, always showing people love. She also put your channel, Ruthless, in the chat. Shout out to her, man. That's why I love Natasha Vincent. She supports a lot of people's platform. We love you. We love you. Love you. Shout out to the lovely Mimi, co-host of the Sites the Avenger, always coming through, showing us love and support. We always show her love and support. You guys, make sure you go over there and subscribe to Ashton Williams channel. I think it is. It's Wild Out Wednesday, so guys, go over there, support Ashton, man. He's getting close to 1K subscriber. Shout out to him. Shout out to White High, that always coming through in the building, always showing love and support. He be supporting a lot of people. Jalen, he was also in the building. She only say hola and then disappeared. Like always, she go right back in the cloud. Shout out to Jalen, Houston's finest, always in the building. But they're over there holding it down over there on DJ Hemp show. They be doing their thing over there. DJ Hemp. Hakeem, you should go on their panel over there on DJ Hemp, huh?
Please, Hakeem, let us know when you're going.
DJ let me know when you go with DJ Hemp.
Like this might be risky.
Yes. Yeah, that's DJ Hemp. Yeah.
I don't think
be over there.
I don't
be over there holding down for a little bit.
Go over there.
They're not ready for this because I'm the vessel that the water flows through. So they're not ready for this.
No, you probably be sipping. You probably be like flirting with all the women in the chat.
No,
DJ Jalen be on the panel, everything, Cam and everything, man. Shout out to DJ Hemp, man. He doing his thing, man. Now ain't that Anton doing his thing too. Anton is he becoming Hollywood. I'm like, wow.
I was on the Wildest Wake Up show and they almost ate me up. So it's hard.
Today they had a good show though. Today they had a good show on the Wildest Wake Up show. PhD was Jay Prince on the panel? Because he was talking about it, or he wasn't on the panel. Was he on the panel? PhD, is she there? Oh, did you? Shout out to PhD, were you there? Or she probably step away. Shout out to Sugar Bone. Happy birthday again, Sugar Bone. Welcome to the Scorpio gang. Her birthday, I think her birthday was yesterday. But shout out to her. She's having a good time. She's in Spain. I hope you enjoy yourself. Disconnect. Yes, she left. Disconnect, Sugar Bone. Disconnect and enjoy your birthday weekend. Enjoy. Shout out to Abby Wardy, that's also was in the building. We really do greatly appreciate you. Shout out to our Ravens that was also in the building watching us on Instagram. The Real Raw T was also in the building on Instagram. Shout out to KF504 also watching us on Instagram. Shout out to Next Level. I ain't seen Next Level in a long time. When I saw Next Level in the chat, I'm like, wow. Shout out to Next Level, man, holding it down over there. I know you be sometime over there on Drip Show, but it's good to see him, man. Dialogue is not here too, but I know Dialogue probably watch the replay. But shout out to those that actually do go and watch the replay. We really do greatly appreciate it. Like you say, Hakeem, your uncle, go and watch the replay. You know, we really do greatly appreciate that. And other people I know do watch the replay. We appreciate you guys so much for always tuning in. We really do greatly appreciate that. Hakeem, you was gonna say something? Oh no.
No.
It's also very important, guys. You go to KL Culture Radio description in the description where you can find the KL Culture Radio gear. What me and Jordan have on. That's a nice shirt, Jordan. I like the green though. Oh, I like that green. The Cal Culture Radio hat, the Cal Culture Radio coffee monster. I got my coffee mug today. You already know we holding it down. And also you can find Prince Hakeem book over there in the community tab where you can find Prince Hakeem book, Black Love. Go over there and support the platform. Shout out to those watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch, Rumble, X. We thank you guys so much. You know, a lot of people be watching us on Rumble, but they never comment. Guys, on Rumble, don't be afraid to comment. Let us know who you are so we give you guys a shout out. Same thing with X. Let us know if you rock with us. Let us know. We really do greatly appreciate it. Now that, but pretty soon we will be on TikTok if it don't get banned. But Trump said he's gonna stop that. So pretty soon we'll be on TikTok. And also right now we currently on Reddit. So shout out to those that watch our clips on Reddit, and we on Snapchat Hakeem as well. Join us on Snapchat. We're on there and also doing numbers. So Snapchat do be watching. People don't understand Snapchat do have a part where you can share your videos. So people are watching us too well on Snapchat. So shout out to you guys so very much. Shout out to you, Natasha Vincent, the mom mother. We really do greatly appreciate you. We got some interviews set up coming up. So guys, be on the lookout for that. That was it. Make sure you got your notification bell on so you never miss those exclusive interviews. Just be on the lookout. It's almost close to the end of the year. We still want still wrap it up. But at the same time, we're still gonna give you guys a good and amazing show. Happy belated birthday again to Jordan. Had a wonderful time. Mine is coming up. Mine is next week. Scorpio baby. Mine is next week, Hakeem. So and after me, then it's Hakeem's home.
No,
Hakeem found 112.
Oh man, we were gonna think about it.
Rue Chris. Jordan went to Rue Chris. I went to Rue Chris. What you went to Hell Kitchen last year, so what you want to do, Hakeem? Go ahead, you deserve it. Prime 112?
No. Johnny Rockets.
Burgers and fries.
Take him to Noble.
No,
but he like burgers. It got to be like a real burger spot, like with a good scenery, with good music.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit fancy.
No, we don't have to be fancy. We could
give him a nice wagyu.
All I need is a,
I said, take him a nice wagyu burger. Oh my God, the wagyu burger! Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I just need a
wagyu burger is hard. Yeah, that's good in California, but it's hard to find one that's really good in Miami. I have to Google it, but over there in California, they are amazing. But it's hard to find over here in Miami. We gotta Google it. Yeah, you'll love that burger. That burger is when you mean it melts in your mouth. Pause. No Diddy. It really do. No, for real. I'm not gonna lie. Jordan put me on. Jordan and my good friend on Will put me on. I didn't know what it was. It's how I was like, what? You know what is that?
Oh, man.
The most expensive burger, but it's really good. It's worth the money. It's worth the money. Shout out to them, man. It's worth the money. Thank you guys for tuning in to Cal Culture Radio. We over and out.
Peace.
Peace.